It's been a long span since my last video. My excuse is as usual. I've been writing a lot of content for Game Rant. As always, I encourage you to check my stuff out on there. I wish I could turn my list into videos because I've had a lot of great ideas recently. Maybe someday if I only had the time or manpower. Yeah, well, anyway, sorry for leaving my devoted subs on YouTube in the shade. I'm back for a double switch review of two interesting indie games, Cassette Beasts and Mr. Sun's Hatbox. I'll begin with Cassette Beasts, which came out a while ago on PC, but it is now on consoles. It may look like another in a long line of indie Pokemon clones, which, you know, it is, but it's more like Digimon. The default name hero is Cass, who is thrown into a new world. In the first town, they meet a girl who teaches Cass about the world, which is filled with monsters and glitches. Instead of capturing monsters and using them as glorified bait, you copy the essence of monsters with tapes. You can then use these recordings to transform into monsters yourself. You can also fuse monsters with another party member to create even more odd creatures. The fusion techniques and the ability to have a party makes it stand out above other Pokemon clones. It looks great too, but there is an issue, and it's a big one. My launch copy was very buggy on Switch, kinda like Cyberpunk. The frame rate during battle, exploration, and story segments froze up constantly. It was almost unplayable. There was a patch that came out during my review though, and it did help a lot. It still needs work with more patches, but I think it's ultimately worth checking out now in a more playable version. Next, let's take a look at Mr. Sun's Hatbox. It's a roguelike that reminds me a bit of a smaller scaled version of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. The titular Mr. Sun lost his Hatbox, and a delivery company sets up shop at his place to investigate the men who took it. You can build onto the compound, such as a medical unit to heal, or a jail to recruit captured units. On missions, you can capture these aforementioned enemies, along with weapons and other gear with balloons. That's where the Metal Gear aspects come into play. Because these missions can be completed within a few minutes, or sometimes seconds, I found it compelling as a Switch game. It is a grind, to be sure, as most roguelikes are, and I wasn't fully in love with the stat buffs and debuffs characters got. That aspect was a bit like Rogue Legacy, but a bit more punishing. Plus, it took me a while to learn the controls. But if you want a roguelike with some Metal Gear aspects, more platforming, and co-op as an option, then this is well worth looking into. And that's it! Two pretty good games on Switch I'd recommend with a few caveats. Once again, sorry for the delay, big changes in my job and all that, which has shifted my responsibilities, but I will surely pop back up on YouTube sooner rather than later, and I'm crossing my fingers because that's kind of a hopefully. But as always, thank you for watching.